till late. Loading those crates, we separate. On the dock, making moves with my team. Wearing house names, got that Memphis name. O's for the loud, stacking up the freight. Cloud rap high, you know we don't wait. Daylight waves, but we stay on the grind. Industry scene, no dream goes unsigned. Forklifts hum with the rhythm, the bass. On Southside freight, we're steadying the pace.
From the long walk to the midnight heat. Everything you can, you can get. After episode, but all I get the proof. If it's warehouse life, gotta make that move. Southside freight, it so never ends. In the ornament, this real hooker transcends.
You ever notice how nobody likes a rainy day? Sure, it's nice if you're home with a blanket and some Netflix, but at work? Nobody's focused. The ground is filled with water and oil from the forklifts, which is causing them to move extremely slow. A rainy day doesn't just mess up your mood, it messes up your whole rhythm. And when the entire warehouse starts yawning like it's a synchronized sport, you know it's gonna be a long-ass day. Let's tune in and see how this day goes.
Walking through the rain to the break room felt like nature insulted me. The drizzle wasn't just annoying, it was the cold, miserable kind that soaks into your soul. Man, I hate the rain, I muttered, slamming the car door shut and pulling my hoodie over my head. The walk from the parking lot to the building wasn't even that far, but by the time I got inside, I felt like I'd just been swimming in disappointment. As I stepped into the break room, the mood hit me like a wet sock. Everyone looked miserable. Clothes clinging to their skin, hair plastered to foreheads, and faces that screamed, "I don't want to be here."
Fuck this job.
The whole room had the energy of a soggy funeral. I found a spot in the back, shaking off the last few raindrops as Dewan strutted to the front like he wasn't dripping wet. He cleared his throat, looking around at the damp and disheveled crowd.
All right, everybody, listen up. It's gonna be wet all day, real wet, but don't get it twisted. It's not going to be a light work day. We got 22 million pounds of freight to move, and we are gonna load every pound to perfection.
Oh, Lord.
And speaking of perfection, Keon, Bruh, and Reggie, all three of you have damages to freight you loaded to trailers yesterday. Y'all know how this goes. Either I write you up or you run a lap. Which one is it going to be?
The room fell silent, save for a couple of poorly stifled snickers. That's when Keon stepped forward, his hand raised in mock seriousness.
"Eyes take the lap, boss,"
he said, nodding solemnly. A few chuckles rippled through the room. Then Bruh, not to be outdone, stepped up next to him.
"Eyes run a lap too, boss, if it's not too much trouble,"
he said, puffing out his chest like he was about to break a world record. By the time Reggie stepped up, the employees were already grinning, barely holding back laughter.
"Eyes right behind him, boss. Eyes run mines in a jiffy."
At that, the room erupted into full-blown laughter.
Y'all think y'all funny, huh? Well, instead of running one lap, how about you all run 3?
The laughter turned to groans as Keon, Bruh, and Reggie exchanged looks of disbelief.
All right, not to keep y'all much longer, but welcome back Jake. He is now our new assistant terminal manager. Jake, you got anything you want to say?
That's Jake. He's back with us, I see. Long story short, Jake has always wanted to be a manager since he was 5 years old. It's his dream. So once he saw that it was an opening at manager camp, he took it, and now he is back with us.
Why, yes, I would love to say something.
Oh, how great it is to wear this crown. Climbing up the ladder can't bring me down. From the coffee queue to this business seat, I found my groove, yeah, I feel complete. Oh, the joys of being the boss finally worked my way up, now it's all heavenly. Oh, solving problems with a smile, can't you see? Assistant manager, hey, that's me.
Manager camp was great. It's good to be back, folks. If you have any concerns, please bring them to me and I will handle them immediately.
Okay, folks, I don't know what the hell that was. We just heard, but Keon, Bruh, and Reggie get to running. And everybody else remember, it's always a great day at Southside Freight.
As I walked up to the dispatch counter to grab my paperwork, I was already planning the most efficient way to get through this load without breaking a sweat. The printer whirred to life, spitting out the stack of papers I needed. I reached for them, but before I could even touch them, a hand snatched them up like lightning.
What's up, Maine? You been dodging me, ain't it?
I didn't even need to look up to know who it was. Peaches. Peaches stood there, smirking like she'd just caught me red-handed. Now, let me explain Peaches real quick. Peaches is actually a pretty solid coworker. She does her work, keeps her head down. Well, mostly, because as soon as her tasks are done, she vanishes like Houdini. It's like she's got a secret teleportation device. But here's the kicker. Peaches is also a content creator, and she's good at it. Big following, big energy, and big, personality. Now, a few nights ago, Peaches hit me up for a live one-on-one match in this first-person shooter game called Duty Calls. So I thought, why not? And agreed. We kicked off the match, and at first, I was taking it easy on her. You know, keeping it casual. But then she got a 3-kill lead on me and started talking shit to her chat.
Trash as hell.
I had two choices. Take the
Get this
L
nigga off
and
my
let her
stream.
roast me in front of her viewers, or do what every self-respecting gamer would do in that situation. Kick her ass. And oh, I did. I went full try-hard mode, wiped the floor with her, and left no room for a comeback. Ever since, she's been looking for me, and I've been dodging her like she's the child support office. Peaches, how you doing? How's your mom and them? You changed your wig so I didn't even know who you was. I've been looking for you.
Stop playing with me and give me my rematch, Lex. Or I'm gonna have to find another way to get my get back. And trust me, I always get my get back. Don't make me dox your ass and have my followers spam your chat.
You wouldn't dare.
Try me, nigga. And have you heard me and Bree's new song?
Nah, I haven't heard it yet.
For my birthday, we got lit and hit the studio. Let me know what you think when you hear it.
I'll put it on first thing when I get to my car. It began to rain even harder as I leaned against the side of my forklift trying to kill time. I heard a couple of employees having a discussion, so I walked over to see what the fuss was about. Keon and Rhodey and other members are in a heated conversation. The topic? Which group would survive a horror movie? Black people or white people? Keon was animated, as always.
Look, let's just call it what it is. Black folks are making it out of that horror movie alive. Period. We don't investigate shit. We hear a noise, we're out that bitch.
Rhodey the Terminal's red-headed horror savant smirked.
Okay, but hear me out. White people might not have the best instincts in horror movies, but we always know the town sheriff, so we feel safe enough to investigate the situation and get to the bottom of it.
Bruh folded his arms, shaking his head.
That's peak whiteness. Black folks ain't going for that shit. We don't even stick around to start. As soon as we see a man in black outside, we in the car.
Rhodey shrugged.
Okay, fine. But what about The Conjuring?
Nope, we don't
Jermaine,
do
who
ghosts.
looks 35 but really is 47, jumps in.
Easy. We don't mess with haunted shit to begin with. Soon as somebody says, this house has a history, we're already packing the U-Haul. Fuck that.
Reggie finally jumped in.
And don't forget, black people aren't splitting up, but white folks, y'all love a good let's cover more ground moment.
You two, cover that section.
That's why y'all get picked off one by one.
Rhodey nodded.
I can't even argue with that. Splitting up is a terrible idea. But you gotta admit, white people are the ones who figure out the backstory. Like how to actually kill the villain.
Jermaine shot back.
Because the villain ain't my problem, Rhodey. That's a white people side quest.
Keon leaned back, shaking his head.
I'm just saying, black people aren't playing hero. We're surviving, and we also have Jordans on, so we not tripping over shit on the way out.
Peaches leaned forward, her grin turning sly.
Okay, but what if the killer is clearly a woman with some ass? Are y'all making it out?
We all paused for a moment and looked around, then Coach spoke up and said,
"If you put a big booty queen as the killer, I'm dead as a motherfucker."
Not even gonna lie, I might be dead too. I once heard a nigga say he'd hit a zombie if she got ass. So yeah, we're done for. Rhodey responds with,
"Not gonna lie, I'm dead too. I like them thick gals."
Peaches responds by saying,
Y'all are so weak-minded that you would risk being killed just to try and get some. That's crazy work.
Keon replies back to Peaches and says,
"Hold on now, Peaches. So if the killer was packing, you wouldn't risk it."
Mind your business, Keon.
We all had a great laugh until we heard,
"What are y'all doing? Get back to work, or it's laps for everybody."
Lunch rolls around, and since it's raining, I decide to eat in the break room today. As I step inside, shaking the drizzle off my jacket, I see Brie, paying the vending machine guy and handing him a drink. I thought to myself, that's weird. Why would she be handing him a drink? Now let me tell you about Brie. When she was 3 years old, her uncle pulled the classic "I got your nose" trick. But unlike every other kid who eventually got over it, Brie waited hours for him to give it back. She knew right then and there that one day she was going to prank him back. Fast forward a few years to when Brie's 7. She convinces her uncle to take her to the mall. Everything seems normal until her uncle gets a phone call and she slips away into a store. Next thing you know, she's telling a store employee that the man she's with kidnapped her. Then she disappears to hide, giggling like she's on candid camera. Turns out, her uncle was wanted by the cops. When they slapped the cuffs on him, she jumped out of her hiding spot yelling, "Pranked ya!"
Baby girl,
not realizing
you did
it was
this.
very, very real. She's been stuck in prank mode ever since then. She almost got me once, but I caught on just in time. Now, it's her personal mission to get me, and every interaction feels like a chess game where I'm just trying not to end up as her next victim. I settled into a corner, unwrapping my Uncrustable sandwich and taking a slow, satisfying bite. From the corner of my eye, I saw Brie dart to the break room door. She peeked out the window like she was expecting someone, then bolted to the back of the room and slid into a seat. Suspicious as fuck, but typical Brie. That's when Reggie walked in. He made a beeline for the vending machine, humming to himself like he was starring in his own personal commercial. He walked right over and pressed the button for his beloved ginger ale. I froze mid-chew, watching as the can dropped into the slot. Wait a minute. Did Brie switch the drink on him? I glanced toward her. Sure enough, she caught my eye and held up a finger to her lips in the universal shh motion. Too late, though. Reggie had already cracked it open, taken a big gulp, and...
What the fuck kind of shit is this? This ain't no damn ginger ale. I want my fucking money back, damn it.
As I watched Reggie storm out of the break room, muttering curses about vending machines and betrayal, Brie sauntered over to my table with a smug grin plastered on her face. I didn't even let her sit down before I started. Brie, why you do Reggie like that? What'd he do to you? She plopped down across from me, feigning offense.
Damn, Lex, no. Hey, how you doing, Brie? Or nothing, huh?
She smirked, pulling a small, well-worn notebook from her pocket and flipping it open.
I've been planning that prank for days, watching Reggie's every move, timing it out, precision execution. This right here, my prank diary, dates, details, results, everything. I never forget a prank, and don't worry, Lex. Your time is coming.
I sighed, leaning back in my chair. Why do I feel like that's not a promise, but a threat?
It's both. But actually, I came over to ask if you're joining the team for Terminal Wars. We're one person short.
I tilted my head. Bruh asked me about it the other day. Told him I wasn't sure. Who else is on the team?
So far, it's me, Keon, Reggie. If he recovers from the trauma I just caused, Peach and Bruh. And of course, Kiana's managing the team. You'd be the perfect fit.
Okay, I'll think about it and let you know.
Well, I can't hold open spots like that. So hurry up and make up your mind, nigga. Oh, and have you heard me and Peaches' new song? We got lit and hit the studio a few days back, and we just posted it on our socials.
Peaches told me about it earlier today. I'm going to check it out once I get to my car.
Okay, cool. Well, let me know what you think. And remember, I'm going to prank your ass, and you will never see it coming.
Ah, this rain hasn't stopped all day, which makes the perfect excuse for every critter in a 10-mile radius to pack up their little bags and come looking for shelter. But here's the thing. Nature's not picky. She doesn't hand out maps or reservations. So sometimes these freeloaders end up in the wrong spots. So if you pair that with hard-hitting rain and a slippery dock, shit's bound to go left.
I'm minding my own business, prepping to clean out a trailer, when out of nowhere, I heard this loud scream. Not just any scream, the kind that makes you think someone either won the lottery or saw a ghost. I step out of the trailer, broom in hand, just in time to see Peaches barreling straight toward me. Peaches ran up behind me so fast I thought I was about to be tackled. Instead, she ducked behind me, gripping my arm like I was her last line of defense.
It's something moving in my trailer, and I'm not sticking around to find out.
What is it?
Probably a possum.
Nah, that's too big. It's gotta be a stray dog.
But then we saw it. And no, it wasn't a possum or a dog. It was a huge-ass raccoon. This wasn't your typical trash panda. This thing was built, muscles rippling, yellow eyes glowing like it had just been summoned from the underworld. Wildlife sneaking into trailers isn't unusual. Rainy days make them bold. But this raccoon lived for chaos. Before anyone could formulate a plan, Danny stepped forward. AKA the Traveler, the man who rides a motorcycle year-round and brags about his stint on season 37 of Naked and Afraid. If anyone was going to take on this raccoon, it was him. Danny grabbed an 88-inch load bar and looked into the trailer with an expression so serious, you'd think he was facing a final boss in a video game.
Step back, everyone.
And then Danny started talking to the raccoon.
You've come back to face me,
he said, gripping the load bar tighter. Peaches nudged me.
What did he just say? Does he know this damn thing?
Danny adjusted his stance.
This time, I'm prepared.
Before I could process what was happening, Danny charged the trailer, letting out a war cry that echoed through the entire terminal. He leaped inside, swinging the load bar like a madman, and disappeared into the darkness. That's when Reggie chimed in with his unique brand of logic.
Fuck no! Technically, Danny's got a survival rate of about 43%. No, wait. Make that 37% because it's pitch black in that bitch.
Keon looked over.
How the hell you calculate that, Reggie?
Reggie shrugged.
Math, nigga.
Meanwhile, the trailer was full of sounds no one could decipher. Grunts, bangs, and what might have been Danny yelling,
"You little fucker!"
All we could see was a cloud of dust and the occasional flash of fur. Then, silence. The kind of silence that makes you reconsider all your life choices. "Danny," I called out cautiously, "you good in there?" A moment of silence comes. Then, out of nowhere, Danny came bursting out of the trailer like a bat out of hell, eyes wide with sheer terror.
"Run! This fucker's crazy!"
He screamed, sprinting past us at full speed. And just like that, everyone turned and bolted. No questions asked. Pallets, paperwork, and even forklifts got abandoned as the entire terminal scrambled like the raccoon had backup. I don't think I've ever seen Peaches run that fast.
"I think it's on cocaine."
After a few minutes of the raccoon causing havoc, it finally began to run off the dock. But then, just as it reached the edge, it stopped. Slowly, it turned, and its eyes locked onto Danny. It raised one tiny clawed paw and pointed, yes, pointed, right at Danny like it was saying, "This ain't over."
"This isn't over, Danny."
Keon, from behind his hiding spot, whispered,
"Did that raccoon just call him out?"
Reggie, still calm as ever, muttered,
Yep, that's a vendetta if I ever saw one.
Then, without a sound, it turned and leapt off the dock, disappearing into the woods like some furry ninja. I turn to Danny and say, "What the fuck, Danny? Do you know this thing?" Danny looks and says,
"Long story short, I called animal control on a pack of raccoons. All of them got caught, except for that one. And we've been having a pissing match ever since."
Damn, Danny, don't you think that's some shit we need to know about? I slid into my car with the kind of exhaustion that makes you question your life choices. Boots off, slippers on, because my feet deserve better after today. As the engine hummed to life, I leaned back, letting the day's chaos swirl around in my head like bad elevator music. "Rainy days, man," I muttered, staring out at the drizzle hitting the windshield. They make everything slower. Traffic, the people you're stuck working with. But you know what? That's not a bad thing. The way I see it, rain is nature's way of saying, slow the hell down. So next time someone tries to rush you or tells you to hustle through it, remember this: raindrops don't sprint, they just fall. And they get the job done every time. With that, I put the car in drive. Another day of Southside freight madness survived. Until tomorrow, that is. Now let me see what this song Peaches.then Brie did sounds like.
When I roll up, it's a move. Keep my circle small. Keep it true. Young Steve May. We're crew.